How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to, I think it's episode 4. I don't know, it's early, and I'm having a hard time counting. It's getting hard to keep track of everything. Yeah, I just rolled out of bed at like 8 a.m., 7:45, and I just wanted to get this finished recording, edited, and start the upload process before I go into work. I've just been so discombobulated the last few days. My mobility is pretty much almost back. I'd say I'm at like 70-80%. I'm feeling a lot better today than I did yesterday, and yesterday I was feeling a lot better than I did the day before. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. If you could, leave the video a thumbs up, a like rating. I'd really appreciate it. Well, just kick the camera. And also subscribe if you haven't already. It's free, and it really helps the channel, and I appreciate it. You trying to steal my shoe? So, on Monday, took the day off, tapering. I've been taking Mondays off for the last few weeks anyway, but as our training starts to ramp up, just be ready. It's going to be 7 days a week of training. All hands on deck. But that's for another week, right? On Tuesday, I took out the New Balance 880 V15s. And the theme of this week, I must have done the taper just right, because every run I did, I felt fresh, I felt smooth, and I just took the pace slow. I mean, nothing intense by any means. It's race week! Here we go. It's gonna be a very interesting one, that's for sure. Still rolling with our taper. Took yesterday off, obviously, and just gonna do a nice easy 5 or 6 miles today. First mile of the week. How we sitting? It's not bad. It's not bad. It's also so nice on this stretch. It's all shade. It's like 7:30 right now, so still relatively early. It's not really hot. The weather forecast for this week is going to be all hot and humid. Fortunately, the back half is a little bit cooler. We're talking like low to mid 90s versus high 80s, so not much of a difference. It's going to be a tough Saturday. We're at 3.9 right now, and for whatever reason, I just got randomly, just slightly nauseated. I might stop here for just a breather. I don't know. I didn't need anything weird. Just give me a minute. Yeah, what the heck? My stomach is just queasy. Okay, we're fine. If it was a normal week, I honestly would probably go a little bit longer, like 7 or 8. The legs feel pretty fresh, honestly. And despite how intuitive my training might look, because it is, it's also somewhat calculated. I'll give myself some props there. I am really trying to be smart this time around. I really am. I'm trying to push as hard as I can without overstepping. If I feel like an injury's coming on, I'm gonna back off now. But I also, if I can get away with doing, 280 miles a week, I'd probably do it. It's just been a really weird and confusing past month for me. I feel like I've been cramming for a final exam, just trying to stuff as much into it that I can. I hope it's enough. I feel like it's enough. It's more so up here. Let's be real. I haven't put in nearly as much work. That's the difference. I'm gonna put on my watch that I felt strong today. Oh man. 6 miles though. And a good start to this week. Let's just keep it up and do whatever we can in the remaining time. Obviously, since it's been a full year since I had raced, I ran this race the year before. I don't race very often, and the nerves are starting to come in. I'm not too bad yet, but as the days pass, it would get progressively more stressful, as I'm sure it does for everybody. I'm starting to doubt myself a little bit, ask myself, first off, what the hell am I doing? And secondly, did I do enough? On Wednesday, I was right back out there again. This time I ran 7 with the Brooks Glycerin Maxes. Felt good. It was very nice to feel good. Once again, the stress still creeping a little bit. I'm starting to ask myself more questions. I'm noticing this. Why am I asking myself all these questions? When I eat something, when I run that extra mile, or going to hang out with friends, I'm like, do I need to be on my feet? What am I doing? I'd also been obsessing with the weather, which doesn't help because I already knew it was going to be hot and humid, but fortunately on Saturday, race day, I had realized it was going to be the coolest day of the week. Anything in the 90s, it's just been unbearable. It was nice to see the weather app like, hey, it's gonna be 85 and 90% humidity. And I'm like, I guess I'll take it. For those of you that have been following me on this channel for years now, I think you'd be proud to hear that I actually take my time in the morning before I go out now. Literally in the past, I was notorious for starting my runs 5 minutes after getting out of bed, like no joke. It was literally like a little game to me. I wouldn't drink water most of the time. Maybe I'd go to the bathroom. I even like stretch for 5-10 minutes before going out, just some dynamic stuff. None of that in the past. I don't know how I functioned. I barely did, to be quite honest. Hopefully this helps in the long run. I'm never gonna get to cross this road, am I? I shouldn't have gone this way at this time of day. I literally sat there for 5 minutes. I couldn't find an opening. First mile, looking good. Whatever I've been doing, just gotta keep it up for a couple more days. I thought it was gonna feel really flat, but I'm gonna slow down the pace, keep the heart rate really low for the next few days, and it'll be go time. All right, mile 2 is a little more like it. I feel really good to say that if I wanted to, I could speed up. I'm being smart. That's my new theme, I'm smart now. I say that after I proceed to attempt an ultra marathon with no training. Yep, the universe levels out somehow. 3.5 miles at 26:15. Another decently tempt morning. It's nice and shaded back here too. This is really nice actually. I'm about to pass this woman up here. I'm not gonna like it. She has 2 of these big old poodles or something, and they're way too strong for her. This is gonna be awkward. All good, all good. Got really good timing back there. She had just moved off to this big shoulder. Didn't look back. Most people never do. By the way, look back, trail etiquette. When I was coming out, I passed her and I almost got clipped by one of the dogs. I would have been pissed. And you know me, I love dogs, but fuck, if you can't control your dog, that's a different story. Let's just go home. 7 miles. Another day closer to the big one. Thursday. Took the day completely off, totally calculated. Lots of rain showers towards this part of the week. And they're not just like little baby showers that come and go. They were pretty, almost scary, if I'm being honest. They were kind of scary. There were like flash floods and our yard was flooding. It was worrisome because if it's raining here, it's raining 2.5 miles, 3 miles that way where Settlers is, and the trails are gonna be destroyed. Which they were. And that brings us to Friday, pre-race day. Took out the Asics Gel Nimbus 27s, and for some reason they felt really soft that day. I did 4 measly miles, and for whatever reason I chose to go out at like 3 p.m. That was not calculated, that's just kind of how the day happened, and I felt kind of banged up afterwards. Bad storm yesterday. Knocked down a couple trees. That has me kind of nervous about tomorrow and what state the trails will be in, but that's part of the fun. We're doing 4 today. It's a bloody scorcher right now. It wasn't exactly intentional coming out at this time. It's like 3 p.m. Today is pre-race day. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day, and I'm really starting to feel the nerves right now. I'm trying not to think about it too much. Just gotta stay calculated, keep on grinding, do what I gotta do. All in all though, this taper's been pretty calculated this week. Pretty graceful. Honestly, pretty spot on to what I did this time last year. I'm doing a vlog on this, so try to keep the details to a minimum in this video. Don't want to overwhelm you guys. Last year, I started bonking around the halfway point, the marathon point, and then I had to take about a lap or so to rally, and then I finished pretty strong. Goes to show that, you know, you could be in a deep ditch really early on and still fire on all cylinders and finish well, because at some point or another I might not bonk, it's very likely, but I'm gonna hit a really rough patch or 2 or 3. Just gotta keep moving. Cannot sit down for long. That's one thing I learned. If you sit down for too long, it gets harder to stand back up. Yeah, I'm just very stressed. So with each hour that goes by, I'm just gonna get more stressed. So I had the day off from work. I took a lot of time to actually go through all the things I needed to do. I got Olive Garden. I love getting Olive Garden before a race. I got some like spaghetti with marinara and some grilled chicken. It was really good. Of course, the breadsticks and salad. Took an Epsom salt bath. I stretch, just some light stretching. I find that if I go through a really intense, you're like really sinking into the stretches for a long time, it kind of leaves you feeling shitty the next day if you have like a really hard effort. So I wish it didn't take me that long to figure that out, but yeah, just kept it light. I also finished the run with some sprint drills, dynamic stretching, and 4x striders to open up the legs. I tend to feel better the following day if I do that, just a little bit looser. Now I'm pretty stressed at this point, as you can imagine. I'm talking less. I'm feeling really uncertain, but at this point I'm signed up. Like I've been talking about it on this channel. I'm not gonna just not show up. I went to bed. I tossed around for a little bit, but I actually fell asleep at a relatively early time and woke up at 4 a.m., which leads us into the big day, Saturday. What happened? Well, I learned a couple things. First and foremost, I wore the Saucony Peregrines as my trail shoe. They were a lot dirtier than this, but I cleaned them off. They were utterly destroyed. Remember those thunderstorms I was talking about? Well, the night before, we had another really big one. So that was great. The trails were honestly the least of mine and everyone else's worries. They were bad, but I found on the first lap or two, when they were relatively untouched, they were slippery. You could tell it had rained quite a lot, but it wasn't really a factor. And then later, you get like 3, 4, 5 laps in, it was so bad. I'm talking, I witnessed several falls. I witnessed people like cursing to themselves about it. I even had some conversations with people out in the thick of it, and they're like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. The female leader, I ran into her at one point when I was in a bad way, and she was just like, yeah, I'm slipping, I'm sliding. There was no tread anymore. She's like, yeah, I'm dropping because of that. I was dropping for other reasons, so let's briefly get into that. I'm not going to talk all the details because I actually have a vlog that I'm going to upload tomorrow. This is Monday as I'm recording this. You'll see this video on Monday, and then tomorrow on July 1st you'll get the Hell Hath No Hurry vlog. Yeah, it sucks to drop out of the race. It sucks to drop out of any race. It was the right decision to do. I didn't really have much of a decision to make. I had ran out of options anyway. I was so banged up. I mean, let's be real, the longest run I had done to prepare for this was 15 miles. I started training back in late May. I just was not prepared. So the more I think about it, yeah, I would have loved to have defended my title and finished the race, because it's just embarrassing to step off. I felt a lot of shame. I did make it through 36 miles. I lost it. It was really strange because I came through the halfway point feeling better than I did last year when I was in phenomenal shape. You could tell that the fitness levels were so different based on how I just crumbled. I crumbled so quickly. Like, I got through the 4th lap and I was feeling rough, but I was feeling good enough to carry on. Like, I was like, yeah, like, I'm finishing this race. And then literally midway through that lap, I just felt it. It just got so bad, and the leader was apparently so far ahead of me, so I'd kind of given up on that until I got to the aid station. And at that point, I was actually ready to drop out at this aid station. And then I saw him, and he was just there eating watermelon. I'm like, dude, first off, there's no way he lapped me. So I'm passing him. He must have had a really hard time the last few miles, because I caught up to him when he was really far ahead. I'm like, all right, I'll keep going. And made it basically one more lap, and I dropped at that aid station the next lap. I just had lost my steering. I was unable to run anymore. I was just walking, and I was super sick, like nauseous. That was, a lot of people were like nauseous for some reason. I've never felt like that during a run before. My body was gone, my head was gone. Because he had dropped, I was now in first place, and I was so far ahead of the next person by over a lap. So I think that's why it really sucks, because had I just been able to continue on, even if I'd walked, probably would have still won. But, You know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I still had over 2 laps to go. It is what it is. We'll get them next time. I'm definitely going to run that race next year and come in much more prepared. So again, look out for that vlog tomorrow. Talk more about it. This wasn't the best decision I ever made, but it also gave me some data points, and I think it actually helped my confidence. Now I know I can go 36 miles, which honestly, low-key, that was a lot further than I was kind of anticipating. In my head, I'm like, yeah, we're going to finish this race, but at the same time, the rational part's like, dude, I don't know, like, if I'll even make it to the halfway point, but I'm going to try. Make sure you leave the video a thumbs up. Once again, subscribe. Thank you for watching yet another episode. Obviously, the day after I took completely off. So, what was the finishing mileage for the week? It was 53 miles. I'm not sure how I'm going to approach this week. Honestly, it's going to be a lot by feel. I think I'm going to go out for a jog after work, just probably a mile, and we'll go from there. So, with that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.